Together with American songwriter, we had the opportunity to speak with Nadège Nightingale.
Adam was able to talk to her over the phone and check out her new music video, Wings, Interlude.
Make sure to find us on YouTube and Facebook at Bringing It Backwards, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Bringing Back Pod.
Follow us, please.
We're Bringing It Backwards with Nadège Nightingale.
How are you doing?
I am great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Where are you all based, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, no. Yeah, we're in San Diego, California, just south of Los Angeles.
Nice. Love it there.
You have a Florida zip code, I noticed. Where are you calling me from? Are you in Florida?
Yes, I'm in Florida. I'm mainly in Wellington, Florida, but I am in general in South Florida.
Okay. Is that where you grew up?
Yes, I was born and raised in South Florida. I'm a Florida woman to the bone.
Tell me about that.
So I was born in Broward, and then my family, my mother and father, we moved to Wellington around the age of 10 years old, I would say. Two very different worlds. I love them both dearly.
How far apart are they?
About like an hour. I mean, from Hollywood, Florida, and here, I would say like 45 minutes. Not far.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad at all. But I would say Wellington is super duper quiet. Here, this is where the home of all the international polo games are here. So
cool.
It's I would say like retirement area, super quiet growing up, whereas down south was more lively for sure.
Nice.
Or is, I should say. Yeah.
Is there a lot of places to catch like live music and stuff around?
Well, there are a few spots in downtown Clematis, which is like 15 minutes from my house. I actually performed there a few times. There's this place called Grandview Public Market and Voltaire. They both have lovely live events. But I would definitely say further south, Miami, Fort Lauderdale area is the place to go for live performances, like mainly if I should choose.
Sure. How far away is Fort Lauderdale? Is that a far drive or?
It's the same. It's about 45, but to Miami, it's like an hour, 15. But it's not bad.
That's still not that far in the grand scheme of it all.
Exactly.
Well, tell me about how you got into music.
So music, ever since I could speak, write, I've always been singing and writing music. My entire family is very musically inclined. My father was a triple platinum record. My grandfather was, he had a reggae band in Kingston, Jamaica. My mother had a band in Montego Bay, Jamaica. And
whoa.
Everyone's very musically oriented in my family. So it was kind of inevitable for me to not pick up something.
Right. Wait, you said your dad has a triple platinum record or triple gold record?
Yeah. So he, back in the day, was a producer, multiple producer, like of film and music and whatnot. But he has a triple platinum record, and I don't know exactly the name of the song, but it was for a soundtrack for a movie. I don't really know the details off the top of my head.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So he's a producer?
Yeah, so he doesn't produce anymore. That was more back in the day. However, on everything that we do, he collaborates with me. So he and I partner up with my producers, and we both co-collaborate on any track or any song that has been made.
Wow. And you said your mother also plays. She was in bands in Kingston?
Well, she sang. She sang back in the day, and then she played, I believe it was the trumpet, if I'm not mistaken. But that was like in her high school years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everyone all has an ear and input on music here. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is really cool. What was the first instrument, or can you play any instruments aside from just your voice?
Well, so I could play the piano by ear. Say if I picked a song, I would have it by the end of the day.
Oh my gosh.
Do I actually play the piano? No, but I'm learning. I'm trying to teach myself how to play the guitar.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Like right now, I'm sure you guys are in quarantine.
Oh yeah, definitely. You are too, no? Are you
Yeah, oh
still
yeah,
on
we are.
lockdown?
I was going to say, like, I know it's probably you could hop on YouTube or something and probably learn how to play guitar by the end of this.
Oh my gosh. Yes, YouTube has been such a huge help. Some of my friends play the guitar. I FaceTime them. I'm like, we're going to get this figured out.
That's cool. So you're saying you're writing and singing at an early age. What was the first performance you did? Were you like in musical theater? Did you sing in your church choir? Like, how did you get, like, when were you performing?
I actually was never in any of that. I guess my first official performance as an artist, I was 17, 18. I was 18 years old. I did theater in high school, but I never was in the play. I was so terribly shy. I did my first, my first real performance aside from growing up. I actually, while talking to you, remember I did do like little talent shows in preschool.
Yeah,
but
still, that's getting up in front of people.
Yeah, like when I don't even know how old that is, but I don't remember. But
like 3 or 4.
My first official, like 3 or 4. My first official performance was my junior year of high school at the talent show, and I won second place, I believe. I sang All of Me by John Legend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What gave you the courage to get up there? Yeah, I was going to say, what gave you the courage and what made you decide, like, you know, you've been singing for a while. Like, what made you decide this is the time to go up there and just try out for the talent show?
One of my best friends literally pushed me on stage because I wasn't going to do it. I as I was walking up, as they were about to call my name, I went up to the coordinator of the event and told her I was going to tell her I'm pulling out. And my friend literally pushed me on the stage.
Oh my gosh!
And was like, "Oh no, you're not. Like, you are going out there. You're literally born to do this." And I'm standing out there and I looked and I was just so awkward, like, oh my gosh. And then when the music came on, I just closed my eyes and started singing.
Wow. How was it when you got, I mean, you obviously did really well if you got second place, but was there like an energy after that gave you kind of the itch to want to keep getting in front of crowds?
It's funny. It wasn't like, oh, I want to be in front of crowds. It was more so of, I always would tell myself, if anyone were to come up to me, like say if I saw Lauryn Hill on the street and she were to say to me, sing to me right now, it gave me the confidence to be able to do something like that.
Oh, okay.
More than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool though. That's interesting that your friend had to kind of give you the nudge to get out in front of people.
Literally.
Yeah. So tell me, like, so you said you were 17 when you were doing that. Were you writing songs and like recording stuff on your own at that point in time? When did you start writing music?
So as far as writing, it's so funny. I actually came across this old diary I had when I was about 7 to some things with like songs and poems I wrote in there.
Wow.
But as far as like officially, which I'm so happy my mom saved that. But when I officially recorded my first song, it was through my iPhone headphones using GarageBand on my laptop. And I recorded a song on there and I put it on SoundCloud, and I didn't even tell anybody I put it there. I kind of just did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kid you not, like all of my friends in the area and like their friends, they knew the song. Like they were like, why didn't you tell us? You should keep going. And my friends really helped to encourage me to keep going because I was really shy.
Yeah.
And vulnerable for sharing.
How were you able to, break through that shyness and start performing live in front of people?
Truthfully, I kid you not, I would not be able to do any of this without God, because my overthinking rate is so extreme that you would think I'd get paid for it. So I pray before I go. I pray days before, like not like constant on my knees and all day long praying. It's more of like,
sure.
God,
yeah, just kind of talking.
Yeah, this conversation, like, if you want me to do this, please show me. Like, I remember one time, I know we're not supposed to test God, but I tested him. I'm like, Lord, if you want me to perform, or if you want me to just record and drop music, show me. Like, if you want me to perform on stage, by the end of this month, book me 3 shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I was living in Orlando at that time, and I got booked 3 shows.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. Yeah, and it was pretty crazy. So just talking to him, honestly.
Yeah. Well, what were the shows that you got booked that way? Like, how did you get the shows? How did they turn out? I want to hear about that.
So I moved to Orlando initially. That was when I was 18. Yeah. 19. I moved there.
So
I went there for school.
Oh, okay. That was my question. So you finished high school and you went to Orlando to go to college?
Yes. I went there to become a vet, an equine vet, but I never actually ended up following through with it. I decided this isn't my calling, and I can't see myself like dealing with a horse's wounds all day. I'd rather ride a horse than do that.
Totally.
But I was blessed with this opportunity. This woman introduced me to her niece who works at iHeart Media.
Mm-hmm.
And they were looking for an intern for this event that they were throwing called the Juice High School Tour, which we would go to various different high schools, and we'd have artists perform for the students, and we'd have vendors come. And basically it was like a day parade, a day carnival for the kids, like minus the ride. It was more of like a day concert and vendors.
Wow, that's cool.
But through that, through me being with them and just learning the behind the scenes of an event and a musical event and whatnot, they learned that I enjoy making music, and they decided to put me on a gig called Smokechella, which took place. Actually, it took place 420. I think it was.
Sounds like it. That sounds about right. Smokechella.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Exactly. It was so funny though, because I was like, I don't think I can tell my mom about this, but it seems really exciting, and everyone is like really nice, and everyone's message is good, so I'm gonna just go for it.
Right.
But no, I did it, and it was cool, and it was.
Was it like a festival,
really
or was it all
nice.
part of that Juice tour? The Juice.
Oh no, the people that put together Juice tour put together the Smokechella.
Oh, okay. Who did you perform with? Just people from Florida, or was that like a local fest?
Well, it was like Orlando artists predominantly, but I perform solo with a performance track.
Oh, cool.
Usually I have a band. Like now when I perform, I have a band alongside me, but that was when I was finally accepting the fact that, okay, if I'm going to be a singer, I actually have to perform as well.
Okay. So from the internship through through iHeartMedia or through the Juice High School tour, that's how you were able to book those 3 shows?
Well, that show, and specifically the other 2, I was working at the Cheesecake Factory as a hostess, and one of the servers there, because one of the managers found out that I made music and just believed in me, and was friends with one of the servers, who then told the server I made music, and the server ended up introducing me to a gentleman named Moxie, who owns this art gallery, who you spoke to. He's my manager now.
Okay. And
he's who coordinated this between you and him, who you were all speaking to prior to me.
Awesome.
And he would have events at his gallery, and he would have me come and sing or just showcase my talent. So there was 2 evenings there that I sang at.
Oh, okay.
Which ended up leading up to like 3 events.
Wow.
But yeah.
So from meeting the manager, is that kind of what sparked your whole solo career?
Truthfully, I started my solo career, I'd say, prior to moving to Orlando, because I was doing shows here before moving there. And I was doing my networking and whatnot here and recording in studios here. Then I moved to Orlando, decided to focus on school, but then he and I didn't start working immediately then and there. So it was kind of like a journey of me trying to figure out exactly what do I want to do. Do I want to pursue school right now, or am I seriously pursuing a music career? So he and I officially became business partners, as of last year, musically.
Oh, okay. Awesome. prior to moving to Orlando, you said you were working in studios and stuff, or you got to record in studios. Tell me about that. Did you have, you had songs written, like when you played the Juice or the Smokechella, where you had your own, you had your own music written and recorded and stuff?
Yes.
So after you put that, what was the next thing that happened to you after you put out that song on SoundCloud? You said your friends and stuff found it and they knew what it was and they knew the song. And did you just from there continue to put music out? Yes,
I continued to put music out. I ended up dropping an official song on all platforms called, it was still on SoundCloud, called Wolves. And it's after I dropped Wolves, which I released on my birthday, it took me a year to release anything else because I really got stuck in my head and battling myself, trying to figure out, like, okay, what sound do I want to put out? How do I want myself to be portrayed? I want to be 100% authentically me. I don't want anyone or anybody trying to form me in something that I'm not, because I know that happens often in the music world. So there was a lot of things I was battling before even coming in contact with it. It was more of like I was spiritually and mentally, emotionally preparing myself, because I knew that once I started fully, full throttle with the music world, there was no turning back for me. This is because music has always been my everything. So I knew if I dropped the song officially on all platforms, that there was no turning back for me. And not that like, oh, I'm a slave to music. It was nothing like that. It was more of, I love it so much that I just knew I wouldn't be able to stop myself from continuing.
Yeah. Tell me about recording in the studio the first time. Like, what was the first song you recorded after doing the garage band? How did you get into a studio and record?
So the first time I ever recorded, the same friend that pushed me onto the stage actually brought me to the first studio I recorded in, which was in the back of a friend of his. He had a studio in the back of his home, and I recorded this song. Oh my gosh, I deleted it off of all platforms because it was totally not my sound, but I was experimenting, and I had this show coming up, and I was more concerned about the crowd that was there and the other artists that were performing. They were all more upbeat, whereas my music is slower. So I felt as if I had to match the vibe and created a upbeat song. But I recorded there. Exactly. Which, see, I'm glad I went through that then, because now it's like whatever I decide is what I decide, and if the vibe doesn't fit, then I'm just not meant to be there, kind of thing. But it was really wonderful. It was really cool, actually. It really inspired me to keep going. And then from that day on, I was just always in and out of the studio. Like, I met another studio engineer and producer and connected with them. And yeah, I was driving home from Orlando, coming home to Wellington to record because I didn't find a studio in Orlando.
Oh, wow. And you had a connection to the studio in Orlando?
Well, I was introduced to a studio, but I didn't feel at home there, nor did the studio here in Wellington that I was going to, the engineers knew exactly what I was looking for and knew that I didn't like auto-tune. They knew not to oversaturate my vocals. Like, they knew everything. So I just didn't want to go through all of that again. And I just decided to hard-headedly come home every time I recorded.
Yeah. So tell me about the latest song that you put out. It was Wings Interlude, right? That's the one you released this year?
Yes. So it's out, but we didn't officially release it yet. We're actually releasing it tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
It's out, though, on all platforms.
I was going to say, I found it on Spotify. So I was wondering if, like... Yeah. So you're going to officially release it, on your Instagram or something tomorrow?
Yes. Exactly.
That's cool. Why did you decide on 420? Just keep going with the Smokechella?
It's so funny. In all seriousness, I didn't realize that tomorrow was 420 until my friend today. She said the same thing. She's like, "Are you purposely releasing it on 420?" I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, I didn't even know it was 420 tomorrow. No.
Oh, that's funny. Kind of comes full circle for you, though.
Exactly. I guess it did. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah. Well, so what do you got going on now? You've got the Wings interlude comes out tomorrow. Are you going to be putting out an EP? What's next?
So I plan to release an EP as of 2 weeks from now. And I'm really excited about it.
Oh, wow. So in 2 weeks, you're going to drop the single tomorrow, and then in 2 weeks, you're putting out your EP?
Yes.
Okay.
You're the only one that knows that because we finalized it today, actually.
Wow. I feel special. That's awesome.
But yeah, I am excited about this project because my first EP, which I love so much, the Nadège Nightingale EP.
Mm-hmm. The red cover?
Completely different. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the sound I'm getting ready to share with everyone, it has no comparison. What I mean by no comparison, not just to say that the other one wasn't up to par, which it was. Mm-hmm. It's just a different vibe. Like that one was more poppy dance vibe. This one is going to be more R&B, lo-fi, nostalgic sounds.
Oh, rad. Why did you decide to go that way?
So it's so funny because when I sit down and take a moment to acknowledge the music that I listen to super chill. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my dubstep, I love my pop, I love my dance, but mainly out of everything, I mainly listen to the slower, for example, let me just name some artists. I don't know if you're familiar with Odie. He sings Little Lies, or Daniel Caesar, or Her.
Her? I know her. I know her. Some of those other ones I don't really
phenomenal.
know. Yeah.
But they're like more slower, but still smooth vibe kind of thing, but not too slow. Like there's upbeat tracks on there too. But yeah, it's going to be really exciting.
So tell me a little bit more about the EP. Do you have a name for it? How are you guys are you gonna, like, obviously right now when nobody can go out and play shows, but was it kind of like, did you have like a plan for it as far as like a release? And
so as far as release, I have an exclusive feature that I managed to get on board with this project, which I'm really excited about, and I'm going to release that song prior to build up the hype.
Oh, okay. And, like somebody featured on the song?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So I know that once I drop that, it's going to create a buzz of, oh my gosh, I wonder who else is going to be on the project, or what else she has going on. So that is my main thing right now. I'm still a work in progress, but aside from the EP, I curated an online live stream event called Rhythms of Hope. And basically what it is, it takes place once every month. I seek out artists to perform. They perform their original music and either 1 to 2 songs. The event is basically to bring all artists of any style, any form, that has a positive message of spreading love and light, so that we can encourage and uplift each other, not only during these dark times, but in general, because unfortunately a lot of the music today doesn't have that words of love and light as I would like to see, which is okay. There's a time and place for everything, but our souls and our spirits need to hear words of affirmation, need to be reminded that we are loved and that we are able and capable of doing all the things that God has sent us to do and whatnot. So I take my time to seek out those artists, poets, painters, everything. And it lasts for an hour.
Cool.
And it's super beautiful. I honestly, like, that is, aside from my upcoming project, one of my most prized possessions, because I launched that March 28th, and it was in celebration of my birthday, but I use my birthday more as of a marketing platform so that everyone definitely will come.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, come to my birthday party because I was quarantined. So I'm like, I might as well just put together this live event. And then initially it was just going to be myself performing. But then I was praying to God. I'm like, God, I know you don't only want me to showcase my light. Like, there's so many beacons of light you've set out here. If that's what you want me to do, please present them to me accordingly, and I'll bring them on board. And I kid you not, it happened so last minute, like extremely last minute.
Mm-hmm.
I found some artists the day of and the day before. One artist I found 2, 3, 4 days before, but everyone else was like in the spur of the moment kind of thing. And it all came together beautifully. We had like 3,000 viewers come in. It was really cool. I was actually really shocked at how many people tuned in. Yeah, like it was pretty insane.
That's a lot of people. That's really awesome.
Yeah, and I am excited to do the next one. I don't have an official date as of yet, but when I do, I'll let you all know so you could tap in.
Yes, definitely. So how often do you plan on doing them? Do you know?
Oh, once a month. Initially, I was planning to do once a week, but then I decided that it's oversaturated if I went about it that way. So once a month, and then after this quarantine's over, I have a venue locked in Miami that I plan to actually bring it to the stage. But with this whole corona going on, I don't think we're going to have any live shows globally until next year.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I think it's going to have to build, So I'm just going to keep it online in the meantime and find new ways. I know I learned that YouTube does live now too. I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just recently found out about that as well. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So like all these platforms you can go live on, and I know a lot of artists are taking advantage of that because that's really the only way to connect with people right now and connect with your fans.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Just so crazy. I mean, can you imagine back in the day when other pandemics were going on hundreds of years ago? There was no form of communication. You had to send birds to send you messages.
I know, yeah.
Now we have all this technology.
I know, at least nowadays, as unfortunate the whole situation is, but we can still communicate. Like I'm still talking to you and I can, there's, ways around it, but yeah, it's wild times right now. Mm-hmm. Have you ever,
I agree.
Have you only played in Florida area or have you ventured outside of Florida?
Oh yeah. I played in, North Carolina. I played in Georgia. I've played in, I want to say, geez, my brain's freezing right now.
All right.
This is a really good question.
Was it like a tour or were they just one-off kind of go up to? No,
they sought me out and asked me to come and perform. One of them was for this woman every year annually she throws an event called Play Ball for All, and it's basically an event to shine light on the special needs community and children with disabilities.
Oh, I love that.
And
That's
it's
cool.
a full day event for them. Yeah, so they had me curate a song for them to use as their theme song for the year.
Wow.
And then I performed the national event. Yeah, it was super duper fun. And I actually work with children with special needs outside of music.
Oh, you do?
I guess you could say in my day job. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when they reached out to me, it was actually really cool. I was like, do you guys know that I work like I nanny part-time? They're like, oh, no, not at all. I didn't know. So
tell me about writing this. You wrote their theme song, you said, or they just took one of your songs and used it as?
Oh, no, I curated one specifically for them, and I performed it at their event.
Was that difficult to do? Like, did you feel like there was a lot of pressure to make it like amazing, or tell me about or did it kind of just flow out of you?
Truthfully, it flowed out of me, but then, like I said, I overthink a lot. I then felt as if it needed to be more catchy or it needed to be more poppy, and then it needs to be more dancey. So I remember the day before I flew out is when I changed everything. I changed the entire song the day before I flew out, and I was rehearsing it on the plane ride, on the drive there, the Uber drive to the hotel, and then the day of, and perform it correctly rather than singing the old version.
Oh wow! So you switched it all around, and then you had a totally new one by the time you got there.
Yes. Which I don't know why I'm like this, but I don't know. It ended up working out, and they absolutely loved it. And everyone was so nice, so beautiful. The kids were so amazing. I opened up for the Lord forgive me, I don't remember the name of the baseball team, but they also wanted me to sing the national anthem, which was really cool.
Oh, wow.
So I sang that before their big game. Yeah, it was really neat.
That is neat. I want to know who your, I mean, I would guess your friends, especially the friend that pushed you out onto the stage during your talent show in high school. I want to know who your greatest advocates in your music career have been.
Totally my mom and dad and my sisters, 100%. A gazillion %. Like, it brings tears to my eyes sometimes thinking about how they support me, because I know that it's a very rare thing to have your parents support you so wholeheartedly. But I remember there was that one day I was in my room recording a song, and I was trying to hit a note a certain way, and I was really trying to step out of my comfort zone. And I was getting so frustrated with myself because I couldn't get it out how it was in my head. And I tried, walked away, came back, tried. I just think I didn't have sleep or something. I don't know, just one of those days. You know how women can get sometimes. But I literally, I had a mini tantrum to myself, and my dad, he came up and he checked on me. He's like, did you get it yet? Are you okay? And he just sat down and was like, just try it like this. And I kid you not, it's all the fog in my life faded away, and I was able to get the song exactly how I wanted it. And yeah, they're definitely my family, for sure.
That's great. Yeah, and especially since they're both musical, that must be pretty awesome for them to see their daughter, doing music and being successful and being great at it.
Yeah, it's really cool. My mom she snuck in on me last night recording and was filming me, and I felt somebody standing there, and I just turned around and the camera's in my face. I was like, oh my goodness, that's insane. I did not hear you at all.
That's funny. My last question for you is if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Truthfully, the main thing, there are so many talented, beautifully talented people in this world, and I see that with a lot of them, they become discouraged because there's so many people doing music and writing and poetry and rapping and film study and everything, that they feel as if, well, what do I have to offer? What differentiates me? And they get so caught up on comparing them to others. And, it even says in the Bible, don't compare your blessings to the next man, because that'll ultimately block your blessing. All you have to worry about is your journey and you are your own individual. So I would encourage everyone to not care about what everyone else is doing, but instead become inspired by it and feel motivated by it, because no one is you at the end of the day. No one will ever sound, look, or be like you, no matter what anybody says. So that's what I would say. Wholeheartedly, boldly, if you love it and it makes you happy, to do it.